Hello, friends. Oh my gosh, it has been a hot minute since I have created any content for Souls to Souls. And it is because I moved. I am now in South Korea, Seoul, South Korea. And it has been the biggest and honestly one of the toughest transitions of my life. It has just been so crazy, so busy. And in the season of transition, so many things have transpired with my faith journey, with my spirituality, that I just have to share it with you. So, what I have been learning recently is that anxiety is not always spiritual warfare. So, hear me out for a second, because I know that if you have grown up in the church or you are a Christian, we've been taught to believe that negative emotions like anxiety specifically is spiritual warfare. It is a tactic from the devil himself trying to keep us down, keep us distracted, keep us locked in fear, paralyzed, whatever, so we cannot live out our purpose and will for our lives that God has called us to. And there is a lot of truth in that. Like, I am not saying that that's not true. And most of the times it is true. Like anxiety and depression and all of these negative emotions or even mental health issues, I do believe they are spiritual warfare. However, at the same time, in my own life, very recently, I have learned that anxiety is not always bad. It is actually an indicator from my body, from my inner self, from parts of myself that I'm suppressing, telling me that something is wrong, telling me that something is out of alignment and there are needs that are not being met. And I am ignoring myself for the sake of other people, of for doing what I think is right, for just pushing myself beyond my limits because I think that's what I have to do. And we don't have to do anything we don't want to do. We have free will. This revelation has come to me very recently because I've been having some anxiety again. And I used to struggle with anxiety. It kind of came out of nowhere, honestly. I didn't come out of nowhere. A lot of things happened in my life for me to get anxiety. But up until that point, I had never experienced really any true anxiety. Of course, stress and nervousness, sure, like anybody, but true panic attacks, anxiety attacks, that crushing feeling, like that crushing weight on your chest, you can't breathe, like you're crying so hard and your mind is going a million miles an hour and you are just so convinced that the world is ending and what you have to do, you can't possibly do it, or just everything is so bad and so horrible. And so I hadn't experienced those sorts of feelings in a long time. And just in the last several months, there have been two major occurrences where I have had just ever present growing feelings of anxiety, where I have continued to shove them down deep within myself, ignore them, more or less, not invalidate myself. What is the word I'm looking for? Gaslight myself into believing that these emotions are bad and wrong and I shouldn't experience them, only for them to just bubble up even more and explode in a big, crazy way, like an anxiety attack exploding energy or exploding emotions to the point where I have to pay attention. I have to listen to them. I have to stop what I'm doing and really tune inward and sit with myself and see what my body is trying to tell me. So why do I bring all this up? How am I tying this together? Well, in church, like I said, we are taught to believe, conditioned to believe, that anxiety and negative emotions are spiritual warfare. They are from the enemy. They are bad. They are wrong. We shouldn't feel them. And if we're feeling them, we should just give them to God or pray them away and stand up to the enemy and really just like kind of deny ourselves because these feelings couldn't possibly actually be a part of us, right? And I just have to disagree with that. Yes, a lot of times anxiety and depression and these mental illnesses are spiritual warfare. I'm not saying they're not. And also, at the same time, they are indicators. Like I said, they are not anything to do with spiritual warfare. They're actually our bodies storing trapped emotions, trying to process them and trying to tell us, like, hey, you're going too hard. Hey, you need to slow down or stop doing this in this area, or this thing is not good for you. Because our bodies have this intuitive knowing that is given by God Himself, designed by God Himself. And there's also the Holy Spirit. And I firmly believe that the Holy Spirit, if we are not listening to the Holy Spirit will allow anxiety to come in. So we stop in our tracks, have to take a breath, truly have to go back to God for help and say, what's going on? What is happening? And go from there. So, why do I share this? I share this because I have personally felt I don't want to say damage, but just kind of being misled by church culture, westernized, whitewashed religion, that my own emotions are bad, are wrong. I can't trust them. I can't act off them. And I just don't believe that that's the case all the time. I think in my own healing journey and really becoming more self aware and really diving deep within myself and meeting different parts of myself and including God in the process, of course, and bringing certain things to God and not certain things, really everything and every part of myself at some point I have brought to God. I'm sure there will be more as life goes on because the healing journey never ends, unfortunately. um, but as I have done all of this inner work, I'm just realizing how much westernized Christianity really negates this part of the human experience and ignores and teaches us to ignore these parts of ourselves that really can actually help us become the better version of ourselves that God is calling us to be. I think you can have healing and the Holy Spirit at the same time. You can have a relationship with God and give everything to God while still learning how to have that intuitive knowing within your body and be able to process emotions in a healthy way and move them out of your body instead of just casting them out or giving them to God and fully like kind of denying and self abandoning yourself, if that makes sense. So, I need to make this point clear. If you're having anxiety attacks every single day and it's impacting the way you live and you like literally cannot function as a human being, I don't think that that is just your body saying, hey, something's wrong. A lot of times our nervous systems get dysregulated and then they can't actually be trusted. So I feel like there's this fine line between is it spiritual warfare? Like, is this just an attack or is this my body trying to tell me something? And I really think you just have to get to that place with God where you're able to like know yourself that well. Get to that place with God and yourself where you know yourself that well to say, hey, is this an attack or is my body trying to tell me something or is God trying to tell me something? And those things can be so hard to differentiate if we're not spending time with God, with Jesus. So, real life example. I am in South Korea now. I have started language school and it is really tough. I am working, I'm starting a second business, I'm trying to do content creation and learning a new language. Being in school for the first time in over a decade is not fun. It's been a lot. It has been the most intense workload I've had in a really long time and I am not used to it. And last month my school is month to month. Basically, each level is a month long. And I started at level 2 last month. And I feel like I already knew about 50% of the content, but 50% of it was brand new. And with my schedule, with all the other things I have going on, I haven't really had the time to truly study outside of class and really take in the information, not just so it's like head knowledge, but so I can actually truly learn the language and be able to speak and read and understand the language, right? And so I just started level 3 a couple days ago. And yesterday I had another big anxiety panic attack. And I was like, dang, like, this has happened a couple of times now in the last couple of months with certain things. And I just think back to earlier this summer when the same situation happened where I had an anxiety panic attack about this big event and realized, oh, I shouldn't have booked this thing. I should have given myself some space and time and tended to my own needs. But I was just so focused on what I thought I should do and the logistics of the situation and just using my head knowledge like, oh, well, it makes more sense for me to do this thing versus what do I actually need right now? Like, can I actually handle it? Do I have the capacity for it? And so, yeah, I went to class on Monday and today it's Tuesday as I'm filming this. And just in the middle of class, like looking at this paragraph of Korean, I wanted to cry. I was like, okay, this is more than, and not just like I wanted to cry, like, oh, it's so hard. That's one thing. But it was to the point where I stopped and I was just staring at the words, not even trying to compute them because I was like, okay, what is coming up for me right now? Like, am I just overwhelmed? Is it the enemy telling me I can't do it and feeding me lies and trying to amp up my anxiety so I don't do this thing? Maybe. or looking at the situation, stopping and tuning inward to my body, dropping my awareness down from my brain into my body, which is not something the church teaches, by the way. And it's a very vital tool that really everybody should know. And honestly, it doesn't even matter that the church doesn't teach it. Nobody teaches us this as we grow up. But anyway, dropping my awareness into my body and realizing, like, whoa, this anxiety is not a spiritual attack. This anxiety is my body holding on to all this stress. It's myself telling me this is too much right now. Like, I can't do all of this at the same time. And so I thought about it. I got through class. I talked to the school about some different options. And then I went on a walk by the little river that I'm living by and sat on a rock in the sunshine and just prayed and talked to God about it. And what I did there is I slowed down, I stopped, I listened to myself, and I was able to quiet all the noise from the anxiety and actually really sit with myself and sit with God and see not only what I felt like I needed, but see what God had to say. And it was kind of surprising, but God confirmed everything that I was thinking in terms of my schedule. God literally said, I am calling you to a life that is slower paced than everyone around you. You do not need to hustle. You do not need to strive. And most importantly, you have time. You don't need to rush through school for the sake of getting it done, because that's not going to help you actually learn the language. And so it was kind of mind blowing to me to have God confirm what I already intuitively knew within myself, but it didn't seem logical according to worldly standards. And had I just brushed off my emotions and my feelings as a spiritual attack and just tried to give it to God and just keep pushing through and just keep doing it, I'm sure I would have just had more and more and more anxiety, and it would have gotten me nowhere. So basically, I am not dropping out of school, pushing back my school time to next month. So I will take this month off. And by taking it off, I mean I won't be attending classes. I will still be doing self study, reviewing what I learned last month every day. And I might do some one on one classes as well, just to kind of keep that sense of accountability. And just working with a teacher is really, really helpful for me. And as soon as I made that decision, I was like, oh my gosh, like instant relief, because it was what I needed, knowing that I would have more time to work on my actual work that I'm getting paid for my clients, and start this second business and really get it launched and going, which will also ease the strain of the financial situation I'm in right now. Because, of course, money adds stress to all our lives. It's such a thing, right? And had I not done that, had I not stopped and actually sat with myself and listened to my emotions and what I needed, had I just brushed it off or tried to, cast it out or give it to God, or really done any of those self denying, self abandonment tools that we are generally taught in church, I know I would not be at this place of peace. And I know I wouldn't be making this video. So, I hope that this helps you guys think about anxiety in a different way. And by no means am I a health professional or medical professional or even a spiritual professional. I am just me giving my story and my experiences, but I just have felt so much like self denial or just kind of gaslighting throughout my life, like in romantic relationships and really in the church. I just feel like this is a true issue that has really come up and is affecting a lot of people in terms of just teaching us to like fully not trust ourselves and deny ourselves for the sake of Jesus. And that to me is not in line with who God actually is or the path that God has really led me on. And so I hope that you can sit with this information, pray on it. If it is for you, like if you see it and it's for you, then it will resonate with you. And if it's not, that's okay. But I can't keep quiet about the things that I feel passionate about when God is telling me, like, share these experiences, because people need to know that they're not alone in feeling this way, and they're not wrong for feeling this way either. So I would definitely say, pray on this message, pray on these words, take it back to God. And if it's for you, He will help you apply it to your life. And if you are struggling with really hardcore anxiety, I feel for you. It is so hard. And I just pray that you get the help that you need in whatever way that looks. And I think that's it for today. Stay tuned. I hope to make more videos soon. And I love you. and God loves you more.